T.O. Blaze.
Hey there, this is Tio bringing another Kerbal Space Program video. Today I'm going to be building a prototype cargo plane. So I've got a whole series on my career mode involving missions on lathe, which I haven't aired any of those yet. But basically I'm building a lot of infrastructure and doing a lot of fun things on lathe. And one of the things that would be useful there is a heavy duty or heavy capacity cargo plane, something with air breathing engines. It's got a far range that can fit awkwardly shaped and sized cargo, because the cargo bay is a traditional way to build a cargo plane, or using a cargo bay that opens on the top, or you can rotate it to open on the bottom, or you can add on the tail section that opens as a ramp. But that restricts you in the size and shape of your payload. So trying to build something that's got an open section. Basically, the fuselage is chopped off on the back end, and you've got a structure with wings and the tail of the airplane. And that's what you saw me building there. And now I'm building basically an example bit of cargo. This may or may not fit in a traditional cargo hold. I wasn't building anything too bulky. Just kind of wanted to represent the mass and the length of something I might send to lathe, or something that I've already got on lathe that I would like the ability to move from one place to another. So, yeah, building stuff in the spaceplane hangars, a lot of fun. I think I mentioned in my last video that I've been doing stuff like this, and maybe getting a little better at making things fly. It's definitely a unique challenge compared to putting things in orbit and sending things to other planets and stuff. So you see me saving it as a subassembly, and now I can work on the rest of the cargo plane. So one issue with the design like this is the back section. I wouldn't want it to be too wobbly, so I will add some kind of structural components that'll extend all the way to the back, that'll give me something to attach struts to, so I can strut this thing up. I'm also going to be concerned about my center of mass, particularly loaded and unloaded, and I'll need to place the wheels in a place where they'll not allow me to tip, pretty much regardless of what kind of payload I put, hopefully. So that'll be a challenge that I have to overcome here in a second. But there you see I just added some little I-beams, some little structural pieces that gave me something to attach the struts to. And there you see moving the docking port a little bit off center. Doesn't need to be on center with the fuselage. It can be a little lower, which will allow me to attach things lower, obviously. And there you see me messing with the wings, and the wheels, and I'll start to figure out where my center of lift is, center of mass, center of thrust, and all that stuff, now that I've got an idea of how this thing is shaping up. There you see me using the air-breathing engines. In later designs, I won't include it in this video, but I do swap those out for a variant that has the Rapier engines. The Rapiers are nice because once I get them up to a higher speed, the thrust starts to pick up, and they can carry things a little more reliably than these engines could. Once I actually put this thing to the test and started using bigger payloads, I realized my engines were a little undersized. But for this video and for this payload, it's perfectly fine. Here you see me experimenting with two front wheels and one rear center wheel, which is pretty much never a good idea. The plane's going to be really difficult to land if you do it this way, because that back wheel's going to touch down first, and it's going to be real squirrely. As you can see, there's my first takeoff attempt. So I did get some lift, which is nice, but that was mainly a test of the wheels and I guess the overall takeoff ability. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap, put the single wheel in the front. So that's going to mean the rear wheels are going to have to like straddle the payload, and I'll attach them with struts like that. So they're definitely way too far back. I didn't even bother to check the center of lift. I'm sorry, the center of mass. But now I know it's going to be way closer to the front. So there you see it. So move my engines a little bit out the way. They're just hanging from the wings anyway. Let's go ahead and reposition these wheels. See if we can do a better third attempt at takeoff. I'm also going to go ahead and rotate the engines. They look cool like that. So overall, I do like the look of the plane. I like that split rear fin. I think that back fin gives me a little more lift as well. So it's not generating lift like I want, and I'm experiment with some different wings, different lifting surfaces, see if I can get more lift. Usually more surface area means more lift. So I'm also going to add some control surfaces to the back. That could help. I think it's starting to pull off to the side. Sometimes whenever you change components, you're not paying attention, the game will glitch out, and in this case, I want to say one of the problems was that it duplicated engines on one side of the plane, which I didn't notice quite at first, then eventually I fixed. But now I'm deciding that's not enough lifting surfaces, so let me try some even bigger wings. Bigger the wings, the more the lift. And generally, the slower your takeoff speed can be, which is nice. You don't want to have to be going 80, 90, 100 meters per second to take off. It's better to go 40, 50, 60, 70. That's much better. So here's an actual good attempt, a good takeoff. Plane's handling pretty well. It's very, very stable, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and drop this thing off at the island airfield if I can, as I guess a test of its drop-off ability. But that payload itself wasn't designed very well. I don't have wheels on it or anything. It's just going to plop onto the ground, which I guess is a good test. And here I'm realizing my lift wasn't very good. I was going to smash into the ground, so I hit the afterburners. I'm going to come in for a second attempt. So I consider this a success if I can actually stop on the island in a relatively short amount of runway. I don't have any parachutes, I don't have any air brakes or anything, and that actually worked out pretty well. I didn't quite make it to the end of the runway. I needed a little more runway, but didn't explode. Just lost the nose cone on the plane. But so that's it. I think this is a success. I'm going to try to make it back to the KSC if I can. But if you like the video, please hit the like button, leave a comment if you want to see something like this in the future. I've already got like 5 or 6, 7 or 8 more videos in the chamber. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And like I've said in the previous video, I've got lots more ideas with planes and stuff in the space plane hangar that I'll be doing in the next video as well. So that's it for this one. I appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and crash into the ground, and I will see you next time.